Hey, it's Corey from Earthquaker, and I am so excited to introduce to you guys the new Afterneath Enhanced Otherworldly Reverberator. So the Afterneath uses a cluster of very short delays to create cavernous reverberations with scattered and rhythmic reflections that have just the most bizarre characteristics. So this incarnation of the Afterneath conjures the same mystical reverb algorithm that you've heard on countless records, but now with a greatly expanded feature set. Now prepare to unlock undiscovered realms of immersive ambience with expression or voltage control over the drag parameter, now with 9 unique modes of user selectable sweep, our proprietary flexi switching technology, as well as tails or no tails operation for maximum control far beyond the territory of most reverbs today. So let's take a tour of the controls. First, at the top left, we have length, and as you would expect, this controls the decay length of the reverb. Now in the top middle, we have diffuse. Now diffuse adjusts the spread of the delay line, so when it's counterclockwise, you're getting scattered echoes with a very sharp attack. As you increase this control, you'll start smearing those delay lines together for a really nice ambient wash. Next we have dampen. Now this serves as the tone control for the reverb. It'll get darker as you increase this control. At the bottom left we have reflect, and this serves as the regeneration for the reverb. Turn this parameter clockwise for more wash and more echoes. It will self-oscillate if it's set too high, so I advise to try to find the sweet spot between length and reflect just before self-oscillation, and the reverb decay will linger around, sort of like a freeze effect. At the bottom right, we have mix, and this blends the wet signal into the dry. Though it doesn't actually go 100% wet, increasing this control will gradually lower the level of the clean signal. At the bottom middle, we have drag, and drag is the coolest parameter on the pedal and truly the heart of the Afterneath. Turning the drag control changes the separation of the delay lines that make up the digital reverb. In fact, depending on where this control is set, will affect the relationship for all of the other parameters on the pedal. You'll get a lo-fi delay-like ambience when it's counterclockwise, and a hi-fi reverb-like atmosphere as you go clockwise. Now we really recommend turning this knob while you have notes ringing out for this really interesting warp speed effect. Now, you can also use an expression pedal or control voltage to manipulate the drag. And CV is an incredibly powerful tool used in synthesis and can unlock new modulation possibilities far beyond what we can do with physical controls. So in this next clip, I will run a control voltage into the Afterneath, and you can hear the clock changing much faster than I could ever do with the knob or expression pedal manually. And finally, we have Mode. And this selects one of the 9 programs that dictates how the drag control operates when manipulated. They are Unquantized. This is a smooth, unquantized response over the operating range, just like the original Afterneath. Next we have Unquantized with slew. This is a smooth, unquantized response over the entire operating range, but with a musical slew that's reminiscent of turning the Varispeed knob on a vintage tape delay. The drag will lag behind the knob or CV changes, but then quickly catch up. Next we have Unquantized volt per octave. Again, this is smooth and unquantized, yet scaled to align with 1 volt per octave to allow melodic modulation of audio in the buffer, or control the frequency of self-oscillation just as you would a voltage-controlled oscillator. So the first 3 modes were all unquantized. Now the remaining modes are all quantized. First we have Chromatic. Minor scale. Major scale in the Lydian mode. Pentatonic scale. And the last 2 modes are only octaves and fifths and octaves. You'll get about 3 octaves sweep for the audio in the buffer. Octaves and fifths is one of my favorite modes to use expression pedal on. The Afterneath isn't only awesome on guitars or synths, it loves just about any input source with tons of transient information. So I programmed a drum loop to play into the pedal, and I'm going to manipulate the controls on the Afterneath so you can hear how expressive and flexible it can be. And finally, the thing I love most about the Afterneath is just how responsive it is to your touch and playing dynamics. So in this last example, I'm going to play some really light chords, punctuated with very sharp plucks. And you'll hear this atmospheric cloud lingering from the chords, and then very sharp scattered echoes from the plucks that will eventually cascade and fade away into this ethereal wash. Thank you guys so much for checking out the new Afterneath. For more information on this pedal or any of the others in our line, be sure to visit earthquakerdevices.com.